Very good afternoon to everybody. It's really a pleasant surprise to see so many people here this afternoon attending the workshop. And I understand there are also some people in online as well. So this is the 12th workshop of the day. The title is Technopreneurship, Mindset of SME Leaders. Please find a seat. Thank you. So I'm presenting this on behalf of NTU actually. I just give a brief introduction of myself. So I'm actually, my full-time work, I'm a CEO of an AI company in Singapore. My company work in the deep tech space. We develop computer vision AI solution for cross-sector application. So later along the way, there are some slides. Some of those illustrations are actually from my companies, so that I'm going to share with you today. As a part-time, I am Adjunct Lecturer with NTU, teaching in the Nanyang Entrepreneurial Academy, which I will also introduce some of the courses that NTU is offering. At the same time, I also has been appointed as an industrial advisor to SUSS. So in SUSS, I'm running some AI innovation workshops and for their corporate clients. AI innovation workshop as well as social media workshops. I'm a community volunteer for many years now. I am a former SAF officer for more than 2 decades, and I also a diplomat in the past. Sometime in my career, I decided to take on an entrepreneurial journey, and that's where I am today. Okay. So that's a bit of my background. So let me understand the audience here in the house. How many here are SME owner or startup owner? Anyone here? 1, 2, okay. And how many here are students or new students or just graduate students, or you are one as well? And the rest are working adults or retired happily, okay. So what will we be sharing over this 1 hour or so workshop? I'm going to spend approximately 30 minutes to talk about the technology landscape, the insight of how AI is reshaping the future of work. And also a certain part of my presentation here cover what a SME should develop, the technopreneurial mindsets that is needed to deal with this rapidly changing technological world that is influencing businesses of all scales and size. One of them is, of course, you have to adopt innovation and be future ready. So broadly, this is what this workshop will cover. Hopefully, I finish it in about 45 to 50 minutes, and I take some Q&A from there. Okay, first, the topics, right? Technopreneurial mindset. So we need some definition here. So this word technopreneurial mindset actually comprised of 3 words. First is techno. It stands for technology, obviously. It is about the understanding of the emerging technologies such as AI, automation, data analytics, and how it can be applied or influenced in the way we conduct our business. So understanding the tech landscape is a crucial part of what future businesses is going to be. The second part of this is also how you should stay curious and be open to new digital tools, all the kind of technological tool that is available, and use technology as the way to solve your problem and create your business value. So technopreneurial mindset, the techno part is about technology, which I'm going to spend a good part of the time talking about the technological landscape. Because I assume we all the audience here come from all different walks of life and have different exposure to business and technology. So it will be on fundamental, it will be on overview. The second part of this word is actually come from entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is all about the ability to spot opportunity in the market. There are a lot of setback and challenges, but there are at the same time have an opportunity. How do you spot opportunity? What is the methods, a way to spot opportunity. How do you take calculated risk and experimentation, and then being resourceful, adaptive, and resilient to the ever-changing business environment? So the second part of the work here is entrepreneurship. And then the third one is mindset. I'm not sure how many of you attended the panel discussion this morning. So throughout the discussion, the professors were all talking about mindset. Okay, the way we think, the way we act, the way we make decisions. So grow mindset, meaning, the present of you in the skill future festival, meaning that you are already in some form of a grow mindset, that you are prepared to learn and evolve. So how do you make yourself future-oriented thinking, anticipate changes, take action ahead of time, and then empowering not just yourself, empowering innovation for yourself and the challenge of the status quo. So this gives us a very good broad definition of technopreneurial mindset: technology, entrepreneurship, and mindset. And then let's start from the technological landscape. I go back to very basic from the overview of industrial revolutions. We all know that we have evolved from the 18th century, the first industrial revolution, sometimes referred to IR, to second IR, and then now we are in the midst of the fourth IR and emerging into fifth IR. So I will not talk too much about the first three IR, but in IR1, it is all about steam power in the 18th century, right? Steam power, it used to be horse, right? And then after that, steam power and vehicle come into picture. In IR2, it's about electricity that changes, and hence there is mass production, factories. In IR3, that's where computer and automation come into picture. And today we are talking about internet, cyber, physical system, IR4. And in IR5, it's about human, cyber, and physical collaboration. But I want to bring your attention to the timeline between each of the IR. IR1 and 2 took about 120 years. And then 2 to 3 take about 70 years, and 3 to 4 take about 30 years. And in IR4 to 5, it could be 20 and less. That's how fast the technology, you see a technological revolution and changes, but also the speed of these changes. So what does that mean to us as a human and to us as an SME? It means that we also need to adapt and adapt quickly. In IR4, there are 4 physical domains. First, we are talking about digitization and integration of value chain. So from business point of view, value chain is an important end-to-end process, right? So in digital integration of value chain, the kind of technology devices that will influence the digitization is cloud computing, mobile devices, and IoT, Internet of Platform. In fact, if you are into this area of IoT, today is called IoT, Internet of Things. Tomorrow is going to call IoET, Internet of Everything. So you can try to think that every sensor and processors are being connected. And that changes the way the integration of value change. The second domain is on products and services, digitization of products and services. Again, the kind of technology we are talking about is the interaction of customer profiling. So today, if you go to Taobao or Shopee to buy things, right, they are actually taking your profile every time you click on a product. And hence they can recommend the next product that is nearest to what you are seeing. So it's about customization and the ability of personalization. So big data is an important factor, because now with big data, they can not only do profiling, they are able to understand the profile of the business and the customer behaviors or buyer behavior. And then of course there are smart sensor. This is my area of expertise, like sensor. So we got all kinds of sensor, from CCTV to weight sensor to audio sensor. Okay, so smart sensor play an important part, which I will elaborate a little bit later when we talk about AI. And then the third area is the digitization of business model. Now with the internet, right, one of the big things that evolved is fraud detection. So many people do many bad things in the internet, right? Hence, you need to like go and find out the fake news and all the fraudulence. Advanced human machine interface. There's this term called MMI, man-machine interface. So at the end of the day, the technology allows us now to interact with the machine in a very engaging and interactive manner, hence improve your entire business processes. Location detection technology, your GPS. Some of you may be senior enough to experience those days of no GPS. Okay, so those days without no GPS in the car, we always have a street directory. Right? Today, we don't need that because there's GPS. So you see how the technology changes the way we live and the way we work. In the IR5, there are three key pillars. So in all the technology that is going to evolve in the IR5 is about number one, people centrality. So it's always about collaboration between human and machine. I want to make a distinction here. So in IR3, IR4, machine are two. They are the operator that help the human to do work. But in IR5, the technology we are talking about is about machine and human work together in and producing values. So that's what IR5 is. And there's a heavy focus on sustainability and social responsibility in terms of environment and societal impact. The last part, resilient. This resilient, we are talking about technological resilience. So just now in the IR1 to 5, I highlighted that it was from 120 years to now 20 years. Right? So what does that mean? It means that technology disrupts technology. So in the IR5, the technology that you develop has to be resilient to this disruption by the technology itself. So this is a broad concept and key elements of IR5. In the technology landscape, we can't run away with digital transformation. So what is digital transformation, right? It is integration of digital technology in all areas of your business, whether it is internal processes or your interaction with your business, with your stakeholders. So it fundamentally changed the way you operate, changed the way you deliver your services. And that's what digitalization is about. There are four key pillars in digital transformation. Customer experience is number one. In digital transformation, your interaction with your customer now will be transformed. There is always a personal loop. In the past, you sell something and that's it, right? The process ends there. Today, there is always a digital loop that comes back, the feedback loop and personalizations. Number two, it's all about data and processing. So there is a lot of data that will changes the way you work, your workflow is, technology adaptation, and of course, at the end of all this, it's all about people and culture. So people and culture, you need to upskill, you need to change the way their mindset, both at management level and also at the frontline worker level. So why is it important? Because there is a big market for customer expectation of digitization. It's a very simple thing, right? You know, if you are familiar with your HDB neighborhood shops, right? If they are not transforming, they will be displaced very soon. So there will be customer expectation, right? And competition. Operation efficiency. Efficiency come in two forms. You do things faster, you do things cheaper. And then it is always about data-driven decision. Today, business decision, you know, we can't know everything 100%, right? But with data, you probably able to achieve higher awareness of your environment than if you don't leverage on data. When you don't leverage on data to make decisions, it is called guess. You hum thumb, okay, you guess. But data-driven is the key to it. And then, of course, resilient and agilities. So in a digital economy, Broadly, there are seven key domains. Digital retail. We are already into a digital retail environment, right? How many of us are not buying things online? I just bought something while I was waiting, so digital retail. Right? Online services, all kind of online services is happening today, including medical service. Now you can actually see a doctor through online, right? Mobility revolution. How many of us here don't carry a mobile phone? I think none. I think none. You give me a tissue because I'm having a little bit of ear block here. Mobility revolution, right? So today, a lot of business, a lot of operation and happening are all on your devices. I do a lot of business transaction now on my phone. Reply email and so on and so forth, right? Virtual socialization is more than gaming now. What is the top app in the Chinese gaming market? Anybody knows? So it's actually a virtual boyfriend, right? Where you pay money and then you talk to your virtual boyfriend and then have a relationship. So virtual socialization is a big thing, and this is go beyond just the machine and the human. It's also among us. I have in the community. I actually work on aging populations and look at how we can support the aging. If you just look back, say 10, 20 years ago, a lot of old folks, when they come to the retirement age, they are quite lonely because they are alone. They can only socialize with their family and limited friends. But today, they are better off because they can socialize through social media. So that actually changes the way we live, right? Industrial digitalization is I spoke to it. Smart city is evolving everywhere, and then the intelligent world. So collectively, this is what the digital economy is going to be, and this is what we, SME or corporate, will have to face, and this is the environment that we have to deal with. So I'm going to give you one example here in China, right? 8 billion hours per day on mobile usage. Of course, China is a big population, right? But 8 billion hours per day, people are using mobile devices. 1.2 billion active mobile internet user, 7.1 billion of 4G base station, and so on. Right? So you look at how big this digital economy is going to be. Of course, if you go and look at Singapore's smaller population, but our digital penetration is also very high. Okay, that is digital transformation. With digital transformation, there is information revolution. Information revolution is about massive development of capability to access, to process, to analyze, and transmit huge amount of data. Early on, someone was asking whether we provide the slides. We don't, but you can feel free to take picture if you like. If you want the slide, then later join the NTU program. So I'll be teaching the program. So information revolution is about 4V. Pardon me with the Chinese word there. 4V are the characteristic of big data. First, volume. How many of us use TikTok? Every minute, there are some video being uploaded. So it's huge volume. So is in Twitter, so is in WhatsApp, right? Volumes of data is one of the biggest characteristics of big data. Number two, velocity, the speed of this data being uploaded. As I speak, there are thousands and thousands of data being uploaded in TikTok, for example. So speed, variety, different form. It comes in text, it comes in picture, it comes in video. So there are different forms. And then it raises issues of uncertainty, veracity. What is real, what is fake? So these are the 4V of big data environment. And you look at the data over the years, right? Since 2010, right? Until now, 175 zillion, okay? So big data, and it will continue to grow and keep growing. And two reasons that is propelling this. One is the power of processing. You got more data center, you got more data being generated. So it will continue to grow. As the data grow, then AI development become stronger because you got a larger data set for training. So you see the relationship of it with this big data. Of course, there are many applications. E-commerce is one big one. In the finance sector, healthcare, smart city, traffic management, social media, digital marketing, supply chain, energy, entertainment, telecommunication, sport and fitness, and there are actually more. I just list the top 10. Now, so I have talked about industrial revolution. I talk about come with it, there is a digital transformation and there is a information revolution, right? So what are the emerging technology that is so rapidly changing today? There are 6 key trends, right? Number one, AI advanced take center stage. You go and flip your newspaper today, or you go and listen to broadcasts. Every day, someone is talking about AI. Whether they know AI or don't know AI, but someone is talking about AI, okay? In all forms, right? In fact, I think the theme of this Skill Future Festival is AI-centric. Number two, technology transform IT workflow. Today, you are in the business, you have certain IT workflow that already established, but this IT workflow is going to be replaced and changed. And then there is obviously dominant of smart data management. It's not just about data, but smart data management. New cutting edge in computing. Your computer now is getting more and more powerful, so they can process more and more data, right? The change, and because of all this, there is a constant cybersecurity threat. And because of this cybersecurity threat, there comes a cybersecurity profession. So in every crisis, there's some opportunity. This is one good example. And there's obviously introduction of robots. And not just robots that can reason. You know, some of us have a robotic vacuum at home, right? That one is a dumb robot. You just know how to sense and go. But here we are talking about robot that can reason. Top 10 emerging technology. AI. AI is one big one. The game changer for future industry. AR and VR, augmented reality, virtual reality, that through AR, VR, now you can simulate situation and scenario in the digital twin environment. So it go beyond entertainment, right? I want to give you one example in my previous company that what we do. My customer want to know 15 years into the future, how would robot improve their operation? Okay. But the technology of robotic now still cannot even develop the prototype for them to do testing. So what we do is that we work with the scientists, project the technology in the simulation world, the future robot of what they want, and then the operator today wear the goggle and enter into the simulation world and start to operate with the future robot. Now, that is through AR, VR. You can use that for training, for experimentation. Big data, I spent quite a fair bit on it. And then the fourth is blockchain. Blockchain is about revolutionizing your trust and your transparency in transaction. Oh, go higher. Oh, okay. Blockchain, right? Yeah, sound better. Green technology, Internet of Things, how you connect, like I say, Internet of Everything. Advanced robotic, additive manufacturing, we are talking about 3D, 4D printing. And then, of course, cloud computing, nanotechnology. These are all the emerging technology that is taking shape and influencing how businesses are run today. If you look at this chart here, future digital economy, we are talking about future service and commerce, which is influenced by technology enabler like AI. Future operation, work and processes, cloud computing. Future consumer and living, 5G network. Okay, so all these key technology enabler will reshape again how we conduct our business in the future. If you don't follow or you don't adapt, it's like the old day that you don't use internet. Okay, so in the day of internet, you don't use internet. That is how you can get this place. Right? Okay, so I talked quite a fair bit on the overview of technology. Now I just want to zoom in a little bit on AI. So what is AI, right? AI is a branch of computer science that use computation models to perform tasks that previously require human intelligence. So instead of human intelligence, that's why it's called artificial intelligence. So it's an intelligence that is not human. So that's artificial intelligence. Actually, this term is not new. It all started in 1950s when the first time this term is being coined. AI have different subset. You must have come across the term called machine learning and deep learning. So AI is the field of where we talk about how machine mimic human behavior, human mind. Machine learning is a subset, meaning that you input data and let the machine learn. The machine will now learn and able to perform some form of human task. But this aspect of it has already gone beyond machine learning. We are talking about deep learning today, that where there are multiple layers of network. You just imagine like our brain, right? You know, our brain is very complex. Until today, you cannot explain your dream. You know, every time you dream, right? I hope you dream. If you notice your dream, it's a mix of many scenarios of the past and present, and then create a new story in your dream. But you cannot explain how these things are connected, right? So that's what deep learning is. So if you look at this graph here, a simple neural network is where there is an input layer, the red dot, and then there is a hidden layer, the orange dot, and then the output. So that's machine learning. In a deep learning neural network, that's where you see multiple hidden layers. So you see how the neuron data are flow. So in AI, there's this term called unexplainable AI. This is unexplained because sometimes the output, you do not know how it has arrived. And that actually has an impact in AI application in healthcare. Okay, so AI process certain output for healthcare decision, but when it cannot be explained, then it cannot be applied because there's a human involved, right? So this is the complexity. And today, when most AI company, if they are still at the frontier of this AI technology, they will be working on neural network and not machine learning. So a good example is that you do the input of a car. In machine learning, the human need to do feature extraction. And then the AI will classify it, and then he will output and say, is that a car or is that not a car? In a deep learning, you input the same car, he do the feature extraction and classification at the same time, and then he produce the output. But you can see this is complex. It's not straightforward. So what is important of AI in today's world? For businesses, is automation, personalization, predictive analysis, and it can be healthcare in safety and security. So automation, right? Automation, what's the value and what is the positive aspect of things? Team productivity, customer experience, scalability and integration, and it should reduce your cost and digital transformation. What is predictive analysis, right? You look at this chart here. The bottom one is the increase in complexity, and then the vertical one is the increase in value. So in predictive analytics, right, AI is very good in describing. Something happened, they have the big data, it's able to explain to you how it happened. So it's descriptive. It can also do better by analyzing it, why it happened. So you see the complexity getting more, right? But the value is better, right? So just don't tell me what happened, but also tell me how it happened, right? Now the predictive is that what will happen next. Okay, when they are able to predict for you what will happen next, the value go up, right? And then what only predict but also prescribe. He recommend you what to do. Okay, so this is the predictive analytic, and the value in business is really about all this, right? From product forecast, demand, from student performance. So you know, in the old days, right? In education, we will know a student is not doing good or doing good or not doing good after the exam, after the mid-year exam, after the end of year exam. Oh, you're not doing good, you retain. That's too late, right? That's too late. But actually, with data, you are able to understand and forecast their education performance, and you have early intervention. Okay, so this is how the education part is evolving. Power consumption, and so on. Now, AI is a very big domain. Later, I will give you my LinkedIn, and you can link me up. I do publish some article there. I have a taxonomy of AI. You map out the entire AI space, and this is evolving. Every other few months, I must go and take a look and say, am I missing something because there's something new, right? It's a big domain, but today I am going to just touch on 4 areas. Generative AI, which all of us should know by now what generative AI is. Natural language processing, in short NLP. Large language model, in short LLM. And computer vision. Computer vision sometimes is referred as video analytics. So I'm going to touch briefly on these 4 areas. Generative AI, simple. Based on your text input, you can generate new text like ChatGPT. How many of us here don't use ChatGPT? Don't use? You don't use? You know, in my class, in my NTU class, when I ask this question, some students actually raise their hand. Oh, I don't use ChatGPT. But I can tell you, the one who say don't use is the one who use the most. Okay. So ChatGPT, right? Text to text. So text to text, that you can do summary, that can give you answer in text. Text to image, and text to video, text to music. So this is what generative AI is. It saves your time, it helps you to be creative, and then it really have a lot of application in digital marketing and so on. The challenge is you can also now generate fake news and deep fake. And then there's copyright issues also. So OpenAI in November 22, 30th November 22, I remember, is where they launched ChatGPT. So it bring AI into this AI boom. You know, the whole world, right, is talking about ChatGPT. Almost a year later, they launched a model called DALL-E 3 that is text to image. You write something, it generates the image. And then in February 24, they launched this model called Sora, which is a text to video. So you see, this is by my company's generative AI models. You put in a text prompt, it generates this burger in 10 seconds. Although you look at it, still a little bit artificial, you know, here. But in the past, without generative AI, this will take a long time to produce. Okay. You look at this example of this. This is not McDonald's asked me to do. I do for illustration. This entire video is based on text. Entire advertisement is based on text inputs. and they generate out this whole advertising video. Okay, still a little bit fake here and there, but you imagine this. This is done in with everything stitching and the music, 30 minutes at the cost of $12 US. So, you know, I'm sure you all go and watch YouTube, right? So YouTube occasionally will pop up short advertisement, right? This will be the one that is changing the digital marketing in here. Or you put an image like this product, within 30 seconds, it generates all kind of product image that doesn't exist. So this, again, it changes the advertising industry, right? Which I thought some of them quite nice. Or you put an image and then you turn it into a video clip. So if you do product listing in TikTok, right? So instead of putting picture, now you can just put a picture and then video generate it, become live, right? So that is generative AI. It have a huge impact in the creative world. So if you are in the digital marketing, if you are in the research world, students, right? Students are giving us problem using generative AI, right? So now the honest thing is that I don't believe in student report anymore. So I believe, so my weightage of assessment now are moving more for presentation and one-to-one discussion, and instead of just based on report. Okay, next thing is about NLP. What is NLP, right? NLP essentially is the smart way of AI able to read, understand human language. You don't need to code language, but you base on your natural language, English, and then the machine understand it. So it make communication between human and machine more dynamic. Business will respond faster to customer because now you use the machine to respond. Improve workplace and speech to text. I have a project with a customer. You know, today I cannot name customer though, for some reason. So they are an exhibiting center. Every time during school holiday or high peak season, their counter cannot handle the enquiries. So what we do is, you're not sure? Okay, so what it means is that now we use a screen, we put in the CEO face there, and then behind it there's a large language model. When the customer come, instead of go to the human at the counter, he now talk to this CEO, digital CEO. And based on the question he asks, he go behind and draw the large language model, and the CEO, digital CEO reply. Okay, so that's how it improves communication. So you got different kind of information extraction, machine translation, sentiment analysis, and so on, Q&A, right? All these are application of NLP. Okay, that's NLP. Then what is large language model? It is a type of deep learning model specialized to design, analyze, and generate human-like text. So it's a big data set, and this that's why it's called large language model, right? So it's huge, right? Based on this huge large language data model, now it can produce things like generative AI. So all generative AI are LLM dependent. So, you know, ChatGPT, you can go in and ask any questions, right? He will somehow give you an answer. But in industry specific today, for example, let's say in a bank, bank wouldn't want to load their data up into the cloud, obviously, right? But they can make use of large language model using their own data set, so they can create their own internal ChatGPT. So their staff now can able to search things based on their data itself. Chatbot, like I said, you can human and machine interaction, content generation. Now you can actually use large language model to do coding. I can tell you in my company, my technical guy develop code very fast. Now I believe that they all use large language model to develop. Okay, and it makes sense, right? It makes sense, right? Why you want to code when you can actually use the assistant of LLM? Translation. Large language model will kick translator away. Now translation is so powerful. You're just using the tool. Data analytic, education, e-commerce, healthcare, generative AI for multimedia. In fact, I was at the panel discussion this morning, and then the professor was saying NUS, any NUS here must have, right? Yeah. For their 5,000, 6,000 of admin staff, they're going to have free training courses for them using generative AI. And then each level that they get from certificate to advanced certificate, they get, I didn't hear it correctly or not, they get pay rise or credit rise every month, like few $100s. This is how organization is transforming their workforce. So it's very hard. It's very good to hear. Okay, later we go and apply job outside. Hey, NTU must do the same. Okay, so ChatGPT. So right. Actually, incentive to learn is very important, right? So ChatGPT DeepSeek is part and parcel of large language model. Okay. Of course, you know ChatGPT is US, DeepSeek is China. Huh? What do? They increase the productivity, enhance customer service, bridge language gap for global user. But the key thing is about it has biases. You go DeepSeek, right? You want to ask something about Taiwan, no answer. Okay, privacy concern also about sensitive information. Okay, what's the difference between ChatGPT and say Google? In Google, when you input something, it gives you a list of sites or link that is related to your question. But in ChatGPT, he gives you the answer. Okay, and ChatGPT not only give you the answer, he follow up your question. So today, let's say you ask about what is good for breakfast, he tell you what is it, and then the next you have further question, you don't have to repeat the first question about breakfast. You just continue. It's almost like two humans communicating, right? Today I talk about transport, car, and then the next moment I talk about the same subject. I don't have to repeat the same subject. Unlike in Google search, it's a single query focus. It's creative, it's summarization, but Google still have its value, real time and fact check. So a good example is that you go ChatGPT, you say write a poem about spring, but for Google search, it's easier to find things like, hey, what's the best restaurant near me? So these are the two differences. Will ChatGPT replace Google search? Maybe, but not now. So Google still has its value. Yeah, but Google still exists. I'm not surprised. But I think Google way of searching still has its value for fact check. In ChatGPT still have the element of bias. So content creation, customer support, education, business, researchers, all these are the good application for ChatGPT, but be mindful about the accuracy, bias, and privacy. Okay, the next, I mentioned 4, right? The next one is computer vision or video analytics. And this is where my company is specialized in. Computer vision is video analytics. Basically, it's about extracting video content for intelligence. Okay, so in the past, surprise, down here got no cameras. Okay, last time we say Big Brother is watching, right? Because there are cameras everywhere, right? But actually, Big Brother is not watching. Big Brother is actually recording only. But today, with AI-empowered solutions, Big Brother is really watching, which I will explain to you through computer vision. So what is computer vision, right? Let's talk about what is human system, right? This is the object. Today, the eye look at the object, the brain process it and know that what is this object. That's human vision. Computer vision is almost the same. This is the same object, but now instead of the human eye, now it's the camera that is looking at this. The AI is the one who processing it, and then he know what is this product. The only difference here is that this is neural network connected. This is some form of infrastructure connection, whether through Internet of Things, through broadband. As a result, this one have other issue like bandwidth, like latency. Here are more connected because we are born and grow like that, right? So essentially, these are the two differences between computer vision and human vision. It enhances automation, accuracy, apply across industry, and it helps machine to see and make sense, basically. It can do object detection. It can do, oh, you want to take photo? Okay. It can do object detection, and it can also do human action recognition. This is an example of a project we did for Malaysia Police. So in February, there was this Taipusan at Butterworth. 1.8 million people visited the place over the couple of days. So we help them to estimate the size of crowd for crowd management. We help them to detect anomaly in terms of crowd access and so on and so forth. It was a lucky project that we got because I was exhibiting in Putrajaya in Malaysia. The chief of police saw our solution, and then we got it in the project in 3 weeks we were deployed on the ground. Computer vision also apply in this project that we have done for this company called Celsius. Celsius belongs to Rolls-Royce and SIA. So when the aircraft sent in for maintenance inspection, right? Today, what happened is that the engineer will insert a camera into the engine compartment and try to spot cracks, erosion, and so on through this screen. Human eye, okay? But now our AI will be able to help them to detect this erosion and FOD and so on. The CEO actually said during the interview with CNA, it reduced their inspection from 4 hours to 45 minutes. So that is quite powerful for them. This is another project that we've done for smart farming. So in the vertical farming, now the human is looking at the plant and see, they die or not die, whether they disease or not disease, but they can't be there 24/7, right? So we mount the camera, AI empower it, he's able to detect early symptom of illness, and then it will trigger the water, trigger the nutrition automatically. It's a very expensive solution for a very cheap plant. So again, sometimes in innovation, it's not about the technology, it's also about the economic. Is it worth doing it or not? This is a project we done in the China factory. Their problem statement is that every time when their product leaves the factory, they are missing part in the box. So now at the assembly line, we install the camera, AI empower it. We know that in box 1, box 2, these are all the items that's supposed to be inside. When the operator put in the item, it will turn red to green. So finally, when he reach the belt where the QC is, he will see the screen. If the box are all green, good to go. If the box have some red and he know exactly which box have what red, then he will address it before he leaves the factory. So the requirement given to us is 95% accurate. I told the boss it's 100%. If there's a box that leave and still have missing item, QC officer never do the job, not my AI. But my AI will detect 100%. In China. Huzhou. So AI, now the next segment that I want to talk about is about future of work, right? And how AI impact and influence the future of work. So let's look at this chart right here. The first one is about internet, right? So in the 90s, all the way peak in terms of application about 2010. And then with internet, you know what we do with internet, right? Again, some of us are old enough to experience the non-internet world. So in the past, a good student is someone that go to library and photostat all the books, but don't read one, just photostat, right? But today, with internet, everybody have information at their fingertip. Okay, so can you imagine in the internet world, you don't use internet? You are backward, right? Okay, so the second line is about smartphone. Smartphone came in with Apple about 2005, and today is about 20 years, 15, 20 years. And who don't use a smartphone today, right? Now look at AI. AI, the boom take place about after COVID, and today we are only about here. And I can tell you this line is going to be stretched even further into the future. So if we don't learn AI as an individual or as a company to adopt AI, we are like the day of smartphone, don't use smartphone, the day of internet, don't use internet. That's how important the technology revolution transformation is impacting us as an individual and as a company. You look at the forecast of growth in AI, right? 2022, $86 billion, and it's expected to reach 1.3 billion, right? With a growth rate of about 36%. And if you look at the orange color one, Asia Pacific, this is the big growth sector. So we are in the right place. We are here, right? AI transform workplace. All the repetitive tasks now can be done by AI. It actually helps you with decision making, create new job, and enable remote working. So AI is not just replacing the job, but also reshaping how we work, or how work is done. If you look at the 7 disruptors, right? Number 1, technology is everywhere. Okay, so are we able to live in a world of no technology? You go up to a mountain and hide yourself, But is technology, even that, I think there are some technology up there, right? AI is, you look at the growth of AI, right? In 2008, it will probably cost you about 500,000. Today, it's about 22. And democratizing AI is about application of AI widely and cheaply. And this is what is going to happen, right? Data, change in nature of work, contingent work, like gig worker, right? So I was just sharing with some people here that my son just graduated from NUS Business School, but he doesn't want to find a normal job. So he just wants to do gig work. Okay, so this is the nature of next gen, right? Job value, vulnerability to automation. So what kind of job will be replaced? The principle is very simple. Anything that is repetitive one will be replaced. Data entry. I can tell you translator will be replaced significantly. Now machine can do more accurate translation, right? Reception. Today you go into some banks, right? The counter are already machine, right? And then maybe, I don't want to say which bank, they have a video that you can now talk to someone behind. Still a human, no? But the day will come that that one is a digital avatar. So these are all the replacement risks. Okay, somebody say not true about translator. Okay, fine. Now from the tech landscape that we talk about, I'm going to move into the business part. So remember the 3 key things, right? Technology, entrepreneurship, and mindset, right? Now I'm entering into the business part. If I extend a bit, it's okay, right, today? So the only constant is change, right? Okay, what are the key factors that is driving and rapidly changing business landscape? 4 domains. Technology factor, your market factor, the people factor, and environmental factor. Technology advancement and democratization of innovation is pushing and changing the world of business. Market factor, you see what is happening in the world today. The globalization is the order, the new world order is changing, right? So all these have an impact on policy shifting and then how your trade are being done. market factor. Your workforce. Just now I talk about your workforce, attitude of your workforce. Your workforce readiness for the future of work. And of course, now more and more are being talked about climates and sustainability. So these are the key factors that will change the business world. And your business world is getting complex, but they are continue to have opportunity, and they continue to have challenges, and they continue to have setbacks. So you see the black one are bigger than the yellow one. So you must go and find where this yellow spot is. So what is opportunity, right? Opportunity is really about your favorable time and condition, enable individual or company achieve goal, make progress, increase likelihood of success. All these are fundamental of opportunity. Things like market gap, emerging trend, your strategic partnership, all these are potential opportunity. The key thing is that how do you recognize opportunity? That is one lesson by itself, is how do you recognize, right? So opportunity recognition is to drive innovation, navigate uncertainty, adapt market dynamic, and grow and sustain. You do that by knowing your industry, stay up to date and relevant with news and research, network with people, keep an eye on your competitors. So all these four things is about knowledge. How do you go and capture this knowledge? And then the last one is about open to new idea. That's where mindset come in. Are you open to new idea? Are you curious? Do you take risks? Are you willing to explore? So that's mindset. I skip this a little bit. Challenge is about difficult situation, obviously, your competition, your government policy change, economic condition change, buyer behavior change. These are all challenges that you face, that any entrepreneur face on day-to-day basis, right? And then when we talk about setback is really about your failure, your financial loss, and your market rejection. So how do we embrace this future of work, which is influenced by technology markets, right? Way ahead is three big things that I'd like to share with you today. Number one, develop a technopreneurial mindset. Number two, embark on innovation journey. And number three, lifelong learning. Very quickly, what is mindset, right? Mindset is your belief, your attitudes, and your assumption that is inbuilt, influenced by your grow up, by your training and the happening in the past. And this mindset actually will influence in the way you behave, the way you make decisions, and overall psychological well-being of yourself. So that's mindset. But what shapes your mindset is your worldview, your life view, and your value system. In Chinese, 世界观, 人生观, and your 价值观. So your worldview is your fundamental aspect of how you see yourself and how you see your world. Is your world your bedroom? Is your world your school, your working environment, or is your world the global environment? Life view is about you. How do you want to live your life? Whether you are a lifestyle entrepreneur who don't mind making some money but have a good balance of life, or you are an empire creator, you want to create the next TikTok. Okay, it's all up to you. So it's how you want to live your life. That's your life view. And then finally, your value system, right? What is right, what is wrong. So these three key factors will influence your mindset. It will influence the way you conduct your business or the way you run your SME or your companies. So like worldview is about your global awareness, your opportunity, your decision making. Life view is about your personal philosophy, your goal, your time management, your leadership style, your culture. And then finally, the value system is about your principle, your commitment to integrity. There are many people who are very smart, but they decided to take their smartness into the wrong place. That's where the value system come in. Growth mindset, fixed mindset. Growth mindset is about, fixed mindset is about, oh, he can do it because he's smart. I cannot do it because I'm not smart. Growth mindset is about, I can learn to do anything. Okay, so that's a basic difference. Sorry, let me come back to this one. So fixed mindset is about ability, and the intelligence are unchangeable. You grow with it. You believe in that. But in growth mindset, it is something that you think that ability and intelligence can be developed through dedication, efforts, and training. So it is important. You can go and read out more about this subject, fixed mindset and growth mindset, for any successful entrepreneur. If not all the time, they are in the growth mindset framework. Okay. There are a lot of characteristics of a good entrepreneur, from opportunity recognition all the way to adaptability, to networking, ownership, accountabilities. It's a one long whole day lecture on this. And when I talk about right mindset, I also talk about wrong mindset. Fear to failure is a wrong mindset. Overconfidence is a wrong mindset. Ego-driven decision making, don't ignore this. A lot of business leaders, they decide on something is based on ego. Oh, this thing made me feel good. Feel good doesn't mean always good. You know, so these are some of those that we have to be mindful about. Okay, now important, shaping a global mindset. You look at us, tiny little red dot there, right? But this is our home, this is our market. Especially for Singapore company, this must be the right mindset. The outside is telling me time's up, but let's continue for 5-10 minutes. As an SME in Singapore, we must think big. Only when you think big, you can grow bigger. If you think small, okay, you are that small, full stop, right? When you think big, it drives innovation. You have greater market possibility. It pushes beyond the limit, explore new opportunity. When you think big, it attracts investors. It inspires the team. It creates powerful impact. So, and I want to tell you this, whether you think big or think small, as a SME owner, you work 7 days a week. Round the clock is still your problem. So might as well just think big, right? And then in global mindset, you need to know what is the world is happening, right? US, China, and all these have a big impact on us because the world economic landscape is changing quickly, and sometimes in an ambiguous way. Okay, it's a very disruptive manner. You look at Trump policy, right? He got no principle, right? He just decide on something and then he become a policy, and then this impact not just big impact country, impact big company, it also impact SME. I want to give you an example, right? Now my company is raising fund, getting investor to come in. If I get an investor from China, US cannot invest in me. So even a small company like me got impact, right? So I have to decide at this point, will I take the China route or will I take the American route? So you see, the global landscape has an impact on us. So global mindset is really about understanding and how we integrate diverse culture, norm, policies together across the world. If you break it down, there are 3 capital. Intellectual capital that talk about your global business savvy, cognitive complexity, psychological. You must have a passion for diversity, right? And your interpersonal and diplomacy and so on. So these are the elements of growth mindset, a global mindset. Now, technopreneurial mindset is a combination of your business thinking, your recruitment, and technical knowledge. You combine them together, you create new values in the changing tech environment. Why there's a need to go into technopreneurial mindset, technopreneurship, is because the world is shaping and changing by technology. If you don't adopt, then you can't scale and you can't grow. Okay, so I talk about developing entrepreneurial mindset. Now I just want to quickly talk about innovation journey. Again, what is innovation, right? Innovation, I pick up 3 descriptions. You will see keywords like customer, and growth. So innovation is all about adding value to your customer and growing your business. Corporate innovation here I'm talking about, right? Better products and services, operation efficiency, competition, increase your corporate identity, organization agility. These are all the outputs. This is an important slide. There are 3 types of innovation. Product innovation, meaning based on your innovation and R&D, you create a new product that the customer now can use and feel. That's product innovation. But there are also innovation that your customer don't feel it, but it's for your increasing your productivity. So that's a process innovation. And because of technology, there are also business model innovation that change the way you conduct your business. So the key thing is really product. And so sometimes when we talk about innovation, right, there's a lot of cognitive bias towards product innovation. But let's not forget about process innovation. It is as crucial because it's cost effective for you. And how do you do innovation? You invent, you totally create something new, or you extend. Now you're having this, now you extend your usage. Like for example, super app like Grab, right? If start from transport to food and now don't know to what. So it's an extension, right? Duplicate. So it's like you see McDonald's selling, now McDonald's sell the prawn burger, right? Very nice, right? So maybe Burger King should follow. So there's duplicate. And then synthesize, you combine 2 things together. So there's a drone technology, but maybe you use drone for delivery. You use drone for video, for capturing or for surveillance. So these are synthesizing. So this is the way you can innovate, different methods of innovation. In corporate, there's also such a thing called open innovation and closed innovation. When we say closed innovation means you build everything in-house. You have your own R&D, you build everything in-house. Open innovation means you go out and look at what is the best and then you take it in. Over time, you will see more and more corporations, big companies are moving towards open innovation. That's why you see there are people, big companies launching challenge statement. You know, they want the startup to come and solve their problem. This is open innovation. I will skip this. Basically, it's about closed innovation and open innovation details. Okay, very quickly, soft skill sets that is needed, right? I just want to talk about the few: creative thinking, analytical thinking, technology literacy. You see, we come back to that term again. Technology literacy, curiosity, and lifelong learning. Okay, these are the skill set that SME individuals need to adopt. If you break it down, it's about critical thinking. How do you stay relevant? You stay relevant by learnability. And also about self-management, your habits, your emotion, your self-discipline, your work-life balance, and you and your environment, right? How to communicate, collaborate, leadership, customer orientation. So these are the important skill sets that we individuals, our workforce have to adopt over time. So lifelong learning, I'm going to drag on a little bit here, the last one, right? Again, the only thing is change, so we have to adapt and learn. Live as if you were to die tomorrow, learn as if you were to live forever. So if you think tomorrow you're going to die, you live happily, right? But if you think you're going to live forever, you learn every day. Okay? That's what this means. Bloom taxonomy, there are 2 categories: lower order thinking skill and higher order thinking skill. So lower order thinking skill is about ability to remember and understand. In the internet world today, it is still important to remember things. Because you don't remember things, you cannot have the grasp of meaning of the things, right? And then you apply them, you identify the relationship through analysis, and you evaluate the information. At the highest order of thinking skill is creating new knowledge. So it's just not about knowing, but knowing and developing into a new knowledge. Right? What's the value of an empty bottle? 2 cents, 3 cents. The value of a filled bottle, maybe $1, depends where you buy it. The value of Coke is higher than the value of water. The value of red wine is higher than the value of Coke. The value of Mao Tai is more expensive. What does that mean? It means that the value of the bottle depends on the value of the content. Our value depends on our knowledge. Okay? Individual skill sets and knowledge depend on your value in your brain. Okay? So how to learn, right? There are 3 things about learning. first you must be willing to learn. You're not willing to learn, no need to talk. Okay? So how to tell your kids and your brother and sister willing to learn is one key factor to make them be a skill future ready person. And then that go back to the mindset, right? You must shape their mindset, their worldview, their life view, and their value system, willingness to learn. Next, learn how to learn. Learning is not, actually there's some skill set involved in learning. So enhance your efficiency. There's so much data, right, about how you learn, be effective, continuous improvement, better problem solving. And then last thing is leverage on diverse learning tools and resources. So coming here today in Skill Future Festival is one good way to look at what sort of resources we have at national level that is trying to propel the learning of the workforce. So here I have to sell a bit of marketing, right? So NTU run this program called Master of Science in Technopreneurship and Innovation. It is a one-year full-term course that have 7 core modules and 3 electives. The elective including venture internships. So I am teaching in this one. I'm teaching in number 5, right? Technopreneurial mindset. So I give you a glimpse of this. This is a one-year program. You can scan here for more detail. Full-time. This year, 3 classes. 3 classes, each class about 40, 50 students. Now, for this one, you can actually, as a working adult, we can actually go into the Flexi Master. The courses are offered from August to April, module by module. You can take them. It's online course on Saturday. And when you complete 5 of this module, you can go back and take a full-time 6-month course and you get a full master degree. It saves you a lot of money. It saves you a lot of time. So you should actually go and explore this Flexi Master program as well. Of course, NTU also run a lot of inbound and outbound and overseas business immersion program. Some of them are very interesting that you can actually learn by participating. I think the next one is coming up in October, going to Shenzhen. So you do learn from all these visiting program. There is a SME short courses. These are all part and parcel of entrepreneurship development programs. Lifelong learning executive program as well. Okay, let me summarize. Today, the key takeaway is that future-proofing business and people is an essential aspect of how we're going to move forward. It is beyond job retention. It's about reshaping the kind of work processes that you have. You need to embrace digitization. You need to build up a learning culture so that you can continue to stay competitive. So I thank you for your attention. I'm not sure whether there are some questions online or not, or do they do have. So Q&A. What else do I have here? Okay, if they close this one, you see my QR code. You can link me up in LinkedIn. Okay, you can link me up in LinkedIn if you like to. And that's it. Maybe I take questions from the room first. If there's anyone have any questions, yes, sir. Okay, I didn't go in detail. I didn't. Oh, what? You mean computer vision, video analytics? Okay. Today, my company core business focus on video analytics. It's not on generative AI. Although we can develop our foundation model for generative AI, but our core business is in video analytics that you see. And the unique value proposition in our offering is no-code video analytics, meaning now users can change video analytic requirement by typing in NLP, and you don't have to code it. So that is our unique offering. We develop models. Marketing. You still need some coding effort. Today, my company, we don't use a third-party model. We develop our foundation model. We do R&D, and we also publish a paper in the international conference. You link me up, you text me, I can share with you some of these papers that we publish. We are always hiring, but Singapore market is too expensive. So I have a lot of remote workers from different parts of the world. But of course, we are hiring. Connect me. Singapore is overpaid. Okay, I talk to you about labor market in Singapore. First, we have a very small pool, right? A top computer science graduates from the university will want to work with Google, TikTok. They will never want to work with small company like us. That is one challenge. So we got all these big companies that is coming in Singapore, they're hiring them. The next culprit is government agency who are also hiring everybody. And they not only they hiring from A level, they go in and pull them out and give them scholarship. And then you got non-tech company like the bank also hiring. So what left behind for us, right? So we have to look outward. So I have workers from Indonesia, from India. I used to have workers from Africa as well. So I have to do that. Philippines, not yet. But I have Philippine people here working for me. Yeah. Sure. Right, right. Actually, it's a good question. So in dealing with your business environment, you not only need to know your technology landscape, your competitive landscape, but you also need to know your compliance landscape. So in different part of the world have different compliance standards. So how do you plug in? If you are operating out in Singapore, of course, you need to know Singapore principles and guides. How do you want to know? Then you have to really look. Singapore is quite transparent. So a lot of information are available online, the government requirements. But if you want to operate outside Singapore, then my suggestion is that you must have a partners, local partners. So local partner is the one that will help you to access to the regulations in that market. But again, culturally different, policy-wise also different. Some part of the rules that we apply here may not apply there, and so on. So really, you need to have that foot on the ground. Yes, sir. No, so the point is here really is how you should see yourself in the foreign market. If you are going to establish a business there, you have a business interest in the market, your local partner is the one that will help you to deal with this unknown factor. So they must be the one. So when you're selecting your partner, they must be the one that you need to know to deal with the market condition. So your partner is important coming from the angle. So it's not just about the market condition and the buyer behavior, but sometimes it's also a lot about compliances. As you rightly pointed out, different countries have different practices. Yep. Any more? Yes, sir.
The question is, SME, they do not have a lot of cash. So how can SME really tap into AI, big data, blah, 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 whereby
Good question.
and SME normally may not get funding from government because they are so small.
Okay.
Which company get funding easily from government, but not SME?
Okay. So first question, right? You're asking how I penetrate the Chinese market, right? It's a combination of luck and hard work. So the factory is a big factory. It's a big manufacturing factory in Huzhou. I tell you how big they are. You know the HDB blocks that we have, right? One block. You take two blocks combined into one, is their one block. And they have 11 blocks in their factory compounds. And this is only one of the compounds. They do many things, including manufacturer of furniture for IKEA. So imagine how big they are. They didn't take my solution. It's their customer who want my solution and being implemented into the factory. Okay, so sometimes you can't go this way, you go this way. Okay, so that is how you can penetrate. My customer is a local premium brand. Okay, so that's how. But when I was there and then I start talking to the factory owner, the basic question is that, oh, your technology is very good, you can solve a lot of problems. But with the money that they invest, they can put 100 workers to do the same job. So sometimes, again, it's not about technology, it's about economy. The second question is about SME, right? Today, growingly, Singapore government are supporting SME in different way. My company is supported by Enterprise Singapore with tech innovation. So there are ways that you can access to grant. It is true that big company will have some advantage because they have the resource and then they have the people that can adopt technology and then they can move faster than a small one. So depending where we see it, like for me, I see myself as an SME, but I also see myself as to democratize this technology, make it easy to access, cheaper to access. I'll give you one example. I'm going to put some of the retail video analytic in the cloud. So that small company like supermarket, restaurant, shop, can now based on subscription, maybe 1 month, $100, $200, and they can have an AI-empowered solution. This is what we can do for the SME across the baseline. Cheap to access, readily accessible. So this is one way that the whole ecosystem has to work together. Any other question? Oh, you answered that. Well, very good. Next time you got to talk. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, right to MOM. Yeah. Right. Yep. So I just have a parting word for all of us here is that we can't run away from digitization transformation. We can't run away. So it's better to start now, start early. If you see yourself to have grow your business or sustain your business. Other than that, I thank you for all your attention. Spending the Saturday here with all of us. So again, thank you. Anything about courses, look for these two ladies here. Okay, thank you.